Well, welcome to the overcrowded garden show here in the backyard. So it's been a couple of weeks, so I just had a look around here and let's see what's going on in the garden now. So this we'll start up at the top here. This is various types of cherry tomatoes. They're starting to plump up now. I think these are the black strawberry varieties. Again, I'll figure it out. Lots and lots of green peppers coming in. Plenty of them. I've been cutting them up and freezing them until I'm ready to actually start doing some salsa with them. So in the meantime, that seems to do the trick fairly well. They're looking grand. Lots of different varieties of cherry tomatoes. This is like a more of an almond shaped type. So they seem to hold up fairly well to cracking. So cracking, not giant octopuses that live in the ocean. This bed is terribly overcrowded, but that's all right. We have a couple of strawberries up there just for giggles. This is mainly hot peppers, so this is hot banana peppers. There's habaneros down inside there. We'll wait until they turn orange. Those will be cayenne peppers. Wait till they turn reddish. More habaneros and more Hungarian hot peppers. And of course, Menards to me. And these are supposed to be hot banana peppers, but of course, they turned out to be sweet bell peppers, cause Menards. Lots of jalapenos growing in the back there. They're actually doing fairly well in the shade, which is kind of surprising. You can see it's a very thick, shady wall. We have the sunflowers growing up there and cucumbers. Not only are they growing up the sides of the sunflowers, but they do a decent job of holding them in place because they make these cable structures, which is kind of an unexpected benefit. Lots of pickles. I've been picking plenty of pickles. I may have picked a peck by now, I'm not sure. I'll have to go look that up. And I made an interesting little pickle tunnel that you can walk through if you're so inclined. Today, I'm not so inclined. But lots of pickles. We'll be processing a peck of pickled peppers later. Roma tomatoes, I really haven't cared too much about them this year. I didn't put cages up. I've just been using stakes. There's a dillweed. But they seem to be doing okay. So I probably, as usual, I've overcrowded the beds because I always worry that I don't have enough in the beds. Other side of the pickle tunnel here. That's a cantaloupe. So it grew by itself from a seed and I transplanted it. And we might get a couple out of this. So we'll see how it goes. Another messy bed. This is the San Marzano tomatoes. These all got knocked over by a storm earlier in the week. More sunflowers. And then this is all cantaloupes growing up here. Now they're not in great condition, but there are a couple of them forming. Last year I trimmed them so there would only be one growing on each plant. But this year I haven't bothered because I wanted to see what would happen if I didn't. And there really hasn't been too many growing, so we'll see. Triangle bed, onions. The onions are all started to fall over, which is usually your sign that that's as much growing as you're going to get out of them. None of them are terribly big, but what are you going to do? I can't magically make them. This part of it is because I had to restart all of the onions that I did grow because I had a malfunction with my lights in the basement. So they're all fairly small, but what are you going to do? So I could leave them a while longer, I might get a bit more energy, but I don't think so. You can already see the downy mildew has started, so they're not going to have a whole lot more life growing out of them. Parsnips are growing. This is all of the spring onions that I didn't pick, and some of them are bulbed up to the size that are kind of rivaling the rest of them, but we'll pull a lot of them out, turn them into soup. Zucchinis, Jesus, another zucchini. Pulling out one about that size pretty much every day now, so going a little daft with zucchinis. Alright, let's look at the long beds. So back here, this is leeks. They're starting to taken up. They take a very long time to grow. Back there is where the kohlrabi was. That's been replaced with eggplants. We'll see what I get out of it. Lots of red cabbages, so decent sized heads coming in there now. Plenty of them. This also has pole beans back there. I'm not pole beans, but garden beans that were supposed to be pole beans but weren't. Lots of poblano peppers. That one's got a bit of damage from something, so I'll pull that one out later. Lots of poblanos. I did a picking a few days ago. That's how that goes. Peas. Alright, so this is peas that I set for fall peas. I have to put up the structure for them to because they're starting to try to grab onto each other. I need to give them something to climb on, so they'll do a bit better. This is, I planted pole beans. Let's see, they're running up the string. Might get some growth out of them. For the most part, this is cucumbers along the back, and I haven't gotten many at all. I've only picked one so far. Not a lot of production as far as that goes. More kaboscha. Sweet banana peppers, those are doing grand. No complaints. I hear rattling in a cage. I think I've caught an animal. We'll go find out in a minute what it is. And the tomatoes where I started. These are supposed to be a cherry tomato, but of course Menards. So you get whatever the hell it actually is. But they're doing decent clusters. They've been trained up the strings and they're doing just fine. So here's the back side of the cucumbers. There's one down there. Ooh. So far all of this growth, all this greenery, but only one cucumber. But I'm sure they'll come. They'll cucumber. And we're gonna go pick a couple of garden beans, and those are all right. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, we'll go down to the back. That's right. Over the fence. So down the back here we have lots and lots and lots of grapes, and they are very sweet now. So they are about another week or so. We'll get ready to start picking them, and there's lots of them. More tomatoes down the back. We have some acorn squash starting to form. I don't see any on that one. Oh, there's one. So there's some acorn squash. They're getting ready to go. More tomatoes. More grapes. More squash in there somewhere. We'll figure them out. But they're starting to creep across the garden now, so that'll be grand. So there's about 6 or so of them in there. Get something out of them. But these grapes are just lovely and sweet right now. Not a heck of a lot more. Oh yeah, there's more. That's a Concord grape variety. So plenty of them. All the raspberries are basically finished now, so now they're putting all their energy into making lots of branches for next year. And raspberries, they'll put fruit on the greenery that grew the year before. So you can't just go chopping it down, because if you do, then you won't have any raspberries the next year. So there might still be a couple hiding here and there, but for the most part, they're basically finished. Oh, well, Now that I say that, here's a couple more that are just kind of hiding back there. And, well, you'll be hiding no more, so you won't. Yeah, that'll be alright. A couple of more pot plants. So, pottage plants. Those are Roma tomatoes, a couple of trees. The hops are all the way to the roof, and they are starting to flower. So in a couple of weeks we'll get some cones out of those, and we'll have some hops. Potatoes are basically finished now. They're all turning colors and falling over, so they're ready to come out. And the rest of it is more tomatoes. They have no cages because they weren't terribly inclined to grow tall, so I repurposed the cages for something else. So, and that is the gist of it. This one's kind of curling up because a storm knocked it over and it ripped out half the roots. So it's probably all we're going to get out of that one. Let's see what animal lost the lottery today. We'll find out. It is a vole. There's Larry the vole. Look like mice with long bodies and short tails. Smile for the cameras, Larry, you're famous. Well, and there's the sad tale of the apples. So we took all the apples down yesterday except for 2 or 3 because the squirrels were just devastating them. And so there's still a few that we left that were fairly low down that we figured the squirrels wouldn't find, but they're doing a great job of finding them. But most of the apples have been brought inside and processed into whatever, you know, applesauce or stuff for crumbles or this and that. But in any case, that would be the end of it. Bye.